I think, sadly, that is probably the thing that people won't forgive Harry and Meghan for, making her last years a bit of a misery. It must have been absolutely heartbreaking for her to see, A, what was happening with Prince Andrew, and B, what was happening with Harry and Meghan leaving in her final years.
A royal author just exposed how Harry and Meghan made the Queen's last days a living hell. Even when she was not in the right state health-wise, she tried to salvage everything, but Harry and Meghan's chaos was too much. When the decision to step out of royalty was made by Harry and Meghan, they thought it was just a decision, but it wasn't. It was a decision that shook the royal family and most especially the Queen.
Majesty put this out via her people. Today, my family had very constructive discussions on the future of my grandson and his family. My family and I are entirely supportive of Harry and Meghan's desire to create a new life as a young family.
For the Queen, Harry was her favorite grandchild and she was extremely close to him. This made the fallout emotionally painful for her.
She was, she was a grandmother, and she was very, very fond of Harry. I mean, I think they were extremely close, and probably the two most popular royals that we had at the time. I just...
Even when he wanted publicity for his Invictus Games, the Queen was really happy to support him and even publicize the Invictus Games.
Boom.
Oh, really? Please.
Boom.
But because of this closeness, when he departed from royalty, the public attacks on the monarchy were so bad that they hurt her more than anyone realized. She was emotionally down, and there was a time when she couldn't even respond when someone asked her how she was. She wasn't happy with the step Harry and Meghan had taken. She found no reason why a prince would sit down for an interview and air family issues to the world like he was in a reality TV show. And to add more to what was already on the ground, the racism allegation by Meghan and her claim that she was trapped in the royal family, that everyone was cold and cruel toward her, crushed the Queen.
In those months when I was pregnant, all around this same time, so we have in tandem the conversation of he won't be given security, he's not going to be given a title, and also concerns and conversations about how dark his skin might be when he's born.
The Queen's mantra has always been never complain, never explain. I think
the Queen reportedly felt blindsided and betrayed by this allegation. Her only response was grave silence, but on the inside, she was devastated. When Meghan came into royalty, the Queen welcomed her like a daughter and was even happy she married her favorite grandson. She couldn't fathom where all these allegations were coming from. The Queen even took Meghan on royal tours, but Meghan never recognized that as anything. Instead, her focus seemed to be breaking the Queen emotionally and making her last days miserable. Seeing that Harry was trying to crush everything she had carefully built, she quickly swung into action and asked Harry to visit her alone so she could talk to him privately and settle every difference he had with the royal family so all could go away and they could become one big family again. But Harry ignored the Queen and never visited her.
I found it interesting that you said that Harry and Meghan turned down a visit with the Queen weeks before her death. Everybody, came to Balmoral for the summer. I mean, that I would imagine that probably weighs heavily on him as well. And, why did he turn down that invitation?
This was the period when her health was declining, and seeing such disobedience from her favorite grandson hurt her deeply. The rejection was painful, especially knowing nothing could be done if her grandson wouldn't hear her out. The palace was in total chaos because of Meghan. Remember Harry's words, "What Meghan wants, she gets." That mindset caused chaos in the palace. Meghan's constant demands created endless tension, from constant staff complaints to protocol disputes to Meghan wants this and Meghan won't accept that. The Queen, who was old and trying to get some rest as her age required, was constantly dragged into disputes she didn't cause. She would issue an order, and instead of obeying, Meghan would disobey and create more chaos.
Meghan would not conform to the rules of the royal household and she wanted to actually have a life, then that's where the problem started.
Staff turnover exploded, and people began to detest working at the palace because of her attitude. This wasn't what the Queen wanted, and it broke her. Her concern was always the future of the monarchy, and when Harry and Meghan tried to spoil that future she had carefully built, she began to fear. She had spent her entire life protecting the institution and creating harmony within the family. Seeing Harry and Meghan walk away, criticize the family, and create global controversies did not sit well with her.
We should take comfort that while we may have more still to endure, better days will return. We will be with our friends again. We will be with our families again. We will meet again.
This behavior from Harry and Meghan made her fear for the stability of the monarchy. At the end of her life, she was supposed to be happy knowing she had done everything possible to keep the monarchy intact.
I think that she worked her whole life, trying to make sure that the monarchy succeeded after her, and the legacy was the most important thing to her, and the Commonwealth, of course, as well.
But when she saw Harry and Meghan's actions, there was a rush of regret that even though she did everything, these two still came and disrupted everything she had arranged. The Queen was already stressed due to the ongoing issues in the royal family. She was dealing with serious matters like the Prince Andrew scandal, the death of her beloved husband, and her own declining health. When Harry and Meghan's drama came into the picture, it became another roller coaster for her. She was already dealing with so much, but Harry and Meghan had to add more drama.
To see, A, what was happening with Prince Andrew, and B, what was happening with Harry and Meghan leaving in her final years, and to cope with that as she was, approaching the end and Prince Philip died and all this, happened right at the end of her life, I think must have been absolutely heartbreaking for her. And I think, sadly, that is probably the thing that people won't forgive Harry and Meghan for, making her last years a bit of a misery.
This became another emotional strain for her during the final years of her reign. It was disastrous for the Queen, trying to manage everything while also coping with Harry's issues. All the Queen wanted was to enjoy her final years in peace and serenity without any form of disturbance. But Harry and Meghan seemed determined to make that impossible. The Queen had to cope with constant turmoil and disturbance. The public was demanding the Queen's words on the ongoing issues, adding unnecessary stress. Harry and Meghan's behavior became one of the reasons the Queen spent her final years under unnecessary pressure. The Queen was so unhappy when she saw her grandsons having a rift with each other. This wasn't what she wanted. She wanted a united front that would take the kingdom to the next level. Unity was all she wanted, not Netflix episodes filled with accusations.
We know that this is a rift between the royal brothers that runs deep. We know it is a rift that's caused the Queen a great deal of pain. And the brothers will be together at Balmoral. This is the first time they have been together.
The Queen wanted Harry and Meghan to stay, but they didn't. To show she still loved them, she always invited them to key events so she could be close to them in her final days, but they ignored several invitations and didn't show up at all. However, they did show up uninvited at several events multiple times.
Well, according to Lady Colin Campbell, who has all the connections in all the right places, Harry and Meghan were invited to every single event of Her Majesty the Queen's Platinum Jubilee celebrations.
Even though, according to Vanity Fair's royal correspondent Katie Nicholl, both Meghan and Harry declined the Queen's last invitation.
As her health declined, it seemed she knew what would happen next. The Queen spent her final months barely seeing Harry or her great-grandchildren. When Harry said he would reveal everything, this worried her constantly, not because she feared the truth, but because she feared the distortion of truth that would come with his so-called truth. The idea that his memoir would twist private moments haunted her final year, and when she finally rested, she was not happy with Harry and Meghan's actions. She was old and not supposed to carry out certain duties, but because of Harry and Meghan, she had to make painful decisions. She removed their HRH status, restructured palace roles, and dealt with Commonwealth backlash. These were stressful, exhausting decisions she never wanted to make at that age. Harry and Meghan robbed the Queen of the peaceful final years of her life, and according to the royal author, they are responsible for making her final years full of misery. What are your thoughts about Harry and Meghan's behavior toward the Queen? Let us know in the comments section. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel. See you in the next video.